start our lecture. Welcome to all of you in your new class. The class is actually about mobile application development. I'm pretty sure that all of you have a good programming background, especially in Java. So today we are going to discuss about the course overview and about introduction by your instructor and about the contents that what we will be going to cover during the course and what type of the assessments will be during this module, how we will start, how we will end this module, what we will learn, and where we will be at the end of the day once we will be finishing this module. My name is Dr. Noor Zaman. My office location is C909. Normally, I'm teaching the security related courses in the previous modules. Here, this course I taught several times few years back. My location is, as I mentioned, C909. So in case of any point to discuss, we can schedule a meeting and we can see at the C9 if it is required. You can contact through the Teams, messages, emails, times, whatever the source you would like, you will be always welcome. Now, what we will be focusing during this module. As you know that this module is actually about mobile application development. So as simple that we will be doing the application development for what? For Android. So in other words, we can say that Android application development will be there in this module. We are all aware that how much highly important that skill is and how high demand it has in the market as well. This is one of the module which will provide you the advanced skills and the most demanding skills of the market. Before we start, as we discussed, that most of you will be having a good background of the programming, especially in Java. Using those skills, we will be designing, developing, writing the code for the Android applications during this module. We will be working in formatting the groups, and those groups, they will be working in tutorials, labs, in your theoretical classes, as well as in your free time. I'm not sure from your list that I taught any module to you. I'm not sure that we are known to each other, because normally I'm teaching the modules for the specialization level. This is the first time that I'm teaching this module. So if we don't know each other, then we will know each other soon. No issue, you are welcome. Very warm welcome to all of you. Feel free to discuss anything. Try to participate in each and everything, including your tutorials, including your labs, and including your theory. Your tutorials will be handled by one of our PhD scholar. His name is Naveed Ali Khan. While your theory and your practical sessions will be handled by me, we will be together. In case if suppose you have any concern or any issue in your tutorial as well, feel free to contact me at any time. As you know, being a computer science student, we have always different sort of modules. We can say theoretical modules, conceptual modules, programming modules, mathematical modules. Each type of module, they demand different level of efforts from us. Theoretical modules, they require time, but they don't require the same amount of time what it is required by the mathematical module or the programming module. In mathematical modules, normally we require to do the practice to be expert about that. Just only with attending the classes and reading them, we cannot reach, we cannot access our goals. In the same way, in the programming modules, they require a bit more time to involve ourselves in hands-on, to write programs by ourselves, to find out the bugs, to face the bugs. That is the most interesting part of the programming modules. Receiving the bugs is something which is appreciable, which is good. The reason is that each and every bug actually lead us for the sum of the new information. That what type of mistake we were doing and how we can fix it. That is the actual learning when we are doing the programming. That is how we are going to step up in the programming concepts. So welcome to the bugs. Not to be scared from the bugs. Welcome them. Dedicate your time for hands-on as much as possible, because as much as possible time you will allocate to your any of the programming module, like same for the Android application development, you will get more and more higher and higher benefit out of it. Before we start, I can make you sure that the Android application development is not something which is very hard, or even it's not something which is hard. It's very interesting. It's very simple. It's very easy. It's very enjoyable. It's very fantastic, provided if we give due core amount of time. Provided we do the practice, provided we write the code at our own, provided we receive the bugs and we try to fix after understanding, after reading, then these things will become an easy like a piece of cake for us. So the only demand is that is your involvement, your hands-on practice, and your more time. And by adding the more time, I'm pretty sure that you will be able to learn a lot from this. And even this module can bring you up to that level that you will be a startup programmer for Android application development. So welcome you again, all of you. You are in the right room with the right choice. It's a very interesting course. Very interesting and fantastic things are waiting for you ahead in upcoming weeks and upcoming months. I will be always here to help you out, and I'm sure, pretty sure, that you will be doing wonders, and you will make yourself proud, and you will make proud to your module leader as well. Going ahead?
Sorry, sir.
Yes, please.
I have a friend of mine. She couldn't join this meeting. Do you mind inviting her? I think she didn't get the invitation.
Okay, maybe she joined later or somehow. So could you share her email? We can send her invitation.
Yeah, but it seems like the chat is disabled. I can't type anything.
Okay, so can you just quickly send me the email?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, you have my email address.
Yeah.
You
I'll
can
send it
see.
now.
Yeah, you can see from here, huh?
I think what he means is that we can't type in the chat because we are not team members. So basically, we were just sent an invite on our email. So like what he means is that we actually need to create a team for this module so we can send
Yeah,
chat.
you are very right. Actually, this team, the invitation sent to you after creating the teams by the IT center. They created the teams and then they shared the teams and the channels with us. Using those channels, using those teams, we invited you. Now, this issue in other modules, also students are facing that they are not able to send the chat messages. So I suggested to them that please contact to the IT center. So mentioning them that what is the problem, so they can, help us in this regard. The issue we faced in the last semester for the teams for the first 5 weeks, it was working fine. But then what happened after 5 weeks, the student will able to send the messages and text, but from my side, I will not be able to read the messages. Means those messages not delivered to me, but those messages can be reaching to me in email after some time. So what happened? This is some technical issue from the IT center. So please contact them, and we will see that what the solution they are providing. In case if suppose there will be a solution from there, otherwise we will try to create our channels privately, not using these channels, and then I will again resend the invitation from the private channels. Okay.
Yeah, so I sent the email.
Yeah, sure. So you send me the email on my email address.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So yes, please. So give me 1 minute. I just check my email so I can see. Okay, I received the email. Okay, but you are already here. You are actually not a member. You are not able to send the chat messages. Agreed?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much to you, and thank you to your friend who explained to me. I really appreciate. This is some technical issue. We will talk to the IT center later, and then we will see that what is the solution for that. Otherwise, in upcoming weeks, we will try to make the private channels. Okay. So maybe start again.
Yeah, so you sent the invitation, right?
Yes, we are in the presentation.
Okay.
So thank you very much. So we are resuming again. My name is, as I mentioned to you, Dr. Noor Saman, and my office location is C909. And here I'm sharing with you the few of the books which are related to the security. They are done by me, not to impress you, but just to let you know that you, as a young man, has more energy, has more time, and you are more intelligent than you are any of the instructor. Trust me and trust your capabilities. You can do the wonders more than your instructors as well. What the books I shared, they are out of 15 of my book, which are done, and they are available at the Amazon and all of the well-known resources. So just to motivate you and just to realize your strength and your power. So before you start your course, the one and the most important point is that you may not underestimate yourself. You have a lot of capabilities and you can do anything more than you are expecting. So wishing you best of luck for that. Now for this module, what we are as an instructor, what I'm expecting from your side, that your participation, active participation in assignments, in your group works, in your other activities as well. Now, what it mean by the means active participation? The most important point is, as we discussed, that this is the programming module. And in programming module, we normally do have more hands-on. And normally we used to have the practice doing and writing the code and contributing. Now, in this way, while we will be, that means requesting after this class, you will be able to see an Excel sheet at the times. So we will be allow you to form your different groups for your assessments. So you can form the groups of your means group members, which will be from 3 to 4. So not 5, because 5 will be very big group. 4 is ideal one. 3 is also okay, but in case if suppose you are fine with the 2 members, then it's okay. It means in rare cases we can accept that, but normally we will go for 3 to 4. Now, what happened from the class from today up to the next week, you will be having a time to formulate your groups based on your own choice. What I mean by based on your own choice, because you can decide yourself which one will be member of your group based on your understanding, based on your friendship, based on ease of the access to each other, based on your geographical location where you are living, or based on your understanding as well. The reason is, sorry, the reason is that what we mean for the active participation, if suppose you are 4 members in a group, and in case if suppose one of the member or 2 of the member, at the end of the day, if suppose they are not participating well, they are not doing their job well, then definitely it will impact to the grades of the entire group. So you need to participate actively. All members, you need to become a strength for each other, as your group can be performing well and you can get the means good and higher results. That is our aim, and that should be our motive as well. So that's why the group formation is not from my side, but I will just let you allow to the all of the students to take a 1 week. You can decide yourself, and then you can form the groups jointly. And in case, if suppose after forming a group, during the initial weeks, if suppose anyone or any member is not working, or not participating, or not contributing in your group, so you may let me know, you may discuss with me any kind of issue. Okay, so as means anyone other's performance may not matter for you. Okay, because this is the joint activity. That's why we say that the active participation in your tutorials, in your labs, in your class, in your assignments, and in your projects and everything is highly important, and try to plan it well so as we can get the required results as well. Punctuality is very important. Like suppose when we start our classes, here I may make you clear one more point, that our lecture classes will be online 100%. Okay, there will be no face-to-face classes for the theory classes. That's what we have the information till today. For your lab classes and for your tutorial classes, sorry again, for lab and the tutorial classes, there will be 50% of the classes will be face-to-face and 50% classes will be online. But those classes which will be face-to-face, those classes are optional for you. Either you want to come to face-to-face or you can means be attending from online. The reason is because those classes which are face-to-face, we will be continue the face-to-face and online both together at the same time. And later, I hope that you have already information that which week of lab and which week of the tutorial will be face-to-face. So I will also share with you later that in which weeks your lab and your tutorial will be face-to-face. So punctuality is important. Like suppose if you are almost 30 students and you notice that we started 2-3 minutes late as well because I was trying to check from the list that when a sufficient number of the students, because this is the first class, will be there so we can start. So try to be means available online at least 5 minutes prior to your time. That's what we requested you in the email of invitation what it was shared. So we can start at a time, and this is what I mean by the punctuality, because you can understand and get them all concept that what we are discussing. Now, practical labs, practice in independent lab sessions is also important. Means whatever we will do in the theory class, in theory class, as I discussed with you, that this is actually more towards hands-on. So after means the 1 or 2 weeks, once we will have our means backgrounds, once we have the base about the Android uh, development, and once we have installed and configure the Android Studio, and after that, what we will do, we will our lab session, sorry, our theory session. I hope that you realize that our theory session has a timing for 2 hours. The 2 hours timing is for that reason that first we will discuss about the concept for anything, and then we will go hands-on. We will means use the any of the example, so we can discuss that example and explain to you that how it is working and what it is, and then related to the same one, things will be part of your lab. So then you can do the practice to come up with the the solutions while you will be in your lab session. But don't you keep yourself only up to means for lab session, as we discussed that do the more practice, it will be good for you, then you will be more comfortable, and then you will be learning more. So in the theory class, actually, we will be having the 2 sessions. One session will be part which will be the theoretical to discuss the concept, and then the other will be hands-on. So we will go for the code and we will see that how and this concept and what we are discussing, how it is working in actual. So you will be having in other way, you will be having the practical and theory both together in your theoretical classes after the few weeks once we reach there. While in your practical class, you will be required to have the some sort of the problem so you can start coding and you can hands-on do the hands-on practice and you can reach to the some point of the solution. And that will be related that what concept we already covered and discussed in our theory class. So our focus is more towards the hands-on. Make use of resources provided at times. So you will find the resources, a lot of resources will be there at the times. By the end of this week, everything will be available at the times. You can use those resources, and also there is no limit, because as you know that you are computer science student, and in computer science, the changes are coming very quickly. The first time when I taught this means module for the Android programming, I used the Android Studio. It was 1.2. 1.2 was its version. And when I lastly used, that was the 2.5 or something. And now we have 4.0 version. So you just imagine that how quickly the things are keep changing in the computer science. So it doesn't mean that whatever the things they are available at the times, they are the only things that you are follow. No, you are free to follow anything which is the latest one, and any resources which are the latest one, and you can follow anything beside of those resources what are available here. Now, if we just go to the next, solve the extra problems, exercises. This is something really, trust me, this is something really important. Okay, don't keep yourself limit up to the projects and up to the classes what we are resolving here, doing here, or up to the labs. But try, because these things will be for your proof of concept, but you try to do the more and more. Just keep this module as your hobby, to keep more time to this one, then you will be enjoying this. And I am pretty sure that if you will be providing a good time, then you will be a good developer, Android developer at the end of this module. Okay. Now, discipline is highly important. Discipline is highly important. Discipline comes how you are coming to the classes. Discipline comes how you are taking care about your timings. Discipline comes how you are behaving with your groups, discipline comes. How you are behaving in your classes, discipline comes. How you are responding to the your assignments and assessment, discipline comes. How you are participating, how much efforts you are putting in your labs. So I'm pretty sure you are very good students and you will make yourself proud and myself proud as well. Any issue, any problem, you can discuss with me using any channel. You are most welcome 24 hours. I will be here for you, and just try to focus more and do more practice. Okay. And try to, whenever you face bugs, this is something good for us. So you try to fix them and try to learn the concepts and try to do the more hands-on practice as you can get as maximum as possible at the end of the module. And my support will be there all the time. As we discussed earlier, that the consultation hours will be at C909. As we discussed it for a few of the weeks, when we plan that there will be the physical face-to-face labs. So in those weeks, I will be there, will be available in the campus as well. In case, if suppose for you it's optional, but in case if suppose you wish to come to the campus, and if you want to see for any issue, you will be welcome by arranging any appointment through the email, and then we will be able to schedule a meeting time, meeting slot, and then we can discuss face-to-face the things. So references and resource material, what they are mentioned here, the next slide, you can use them, but again, there is no restriction to use them. You can use anything which is new. Like suppose here, the book edition, it is from the 2017, but it is not necessary that you are using that one. But because it is the part of your curriculum, then curriculum, we cannot change the books and everything very quickly, very recently. It's not possible. There are the policies and procedures, but again, at the same time, you are not bound to that one, that you are only used to this, but you can use anything which is the latest available. Additional references, you can see that there are the different online courses links are given there. You are aware about most of them, so you can go and you can find out, and you can use the YouTube and whatever the resources are. Our main aim is, our motive is that how we can get the maximum from this module, which you can utilize in your later in your professional life. You can utilize later as a freelancer Android developer like that. So now, what mobile application development is, as we discussed. So you can see here that I'm focusing again and again more on hands-on, more on time, more on practicing. So you can see from here, mobile application development is 100% practical module. Even in the theory class, after a few weeks, once we reach at that stage, you will find the part of the theory is less, and we will be going the hands-on part, or will be going on the practical side more. Okay, and then you will have your practical sessions as well. So you will find that your theory class time is more, your practical lab session time is more, your tutorial time is only 1 hour. Why? Because most of the things we need to, that is the practical, that's the hands-on. Okay, so I hope that you equip your machines. You all have the good machines, and soon we will suggest you to go for the installation of the Android Studio as while even during the theory class, while what we are doing, so you can use that, you can write that, you can do that at that time, and even at the later, so you can do the maximum practice for that. So this is the 100% practical module that focuses on Android application development. Now, in this module, what you will learn the fundamentals and advanced concepts. In the initial weeks up to the midterm, you will be learning the fundamental concepts, and then you will be learning the advanced concepts as well. You will develop a variety of mobile applications, and you will be using different sort of the features as well. You will be playing with the Wi-Fi, GPS, database, camera, Bluetooth, SMS, multimedia, and many more other type of applications. But please keep in mind that during this semester, which is only for the few weeks, like suppose 12 to 14 weeks, if you really want to become an expert for this one, you need to plan well to provide a lot of time. Not only rely are spent at what we are discussing in theory classes and in the lab classes. These all together, if we join them together, this is almost the maximum 3 hours in a week. So this is not even the 50 hours for the whole semester. Okay, so it depends on you that how much time you are spending. If suppose you are spending equal time or double the time that what you have the time for your theory and for your lab, then you will be, your learning curve will be very higher, very faster, and you will be professional for this one. And I hope that you will plan well, and I hope that you will do really a wonderful job. So every semester, students develop a unique Android app and deploy it to the Google Play Store. So we hope that you will do the wonders and you will also deploy your successful applications at the Google Play Store as well. Now, after completing this module, the student could pursue career as mobile application. No doubt in it. But again, we will say that this module is with practice, hands-on. So the one who will plan well, who will spend more time, for sure, these lines are for that student. And I believe that these lines are for all of you. And I trust that you will all are good students and you will plan well and you will spend a very good amount of time. So we have developed various applications from previous semesters, from your previous, your seniors and your students, a lot of different applications. Okay, not under my supervision, but under the supervision of Sarfraz. He was the one who was teaching that course. So these applications are here just to give you the intro and for your brainstorming. And I hope that you do even more better than those applications. And then they finish their applications and then they also uploaded their applications at the Play Store. And most of the students, they learn these skills and they try to implement their skills for their final year projects as well. So you have really good opportunity to come up to get the maximum benefit from this module. My support will be always there. Now, the subject covers what actually? Now we are saying that we are covering the Android application programming, but what actually we are going to cover? What are the major contents that we will be covering in this? So the concept of Android platform. First of all, you will be learning the core concept about the Android platform. Then you will be learning about how you can implement the GUI and how you can create your mobile applications, how you can come up with the GUI and how you can handle their activities lifecycle. What is activity? Maybe at this stage you are not knowing that what is the activity. So in the upcoming weeks, you will be learn what is the activity, what is the activity life cycle, what are the fragments. Okay, so things are very simple. You will be learning with time. And that's what I mentioned to you, that now it's kind of piece of cake. While I taught this course almost 5-7 years before, at that time we were using even Android 1.2. And I taught this very first time. At that time it was, even there was no Android, but we were using the Eclipse and other tools. At that time, it was very hard even to write a simple application. And after the Android Studio, everything is visual, everything is drag and drop. It's very simple, it's very easy compared to that one. But what it demands, it only demands the time from you, the really time, but you yourself on individual basis, on group basis, you will spend on that. Integrating databases, now it's very easy. Previously, it was very hard. Previously, it was very hard. Only the file system database was working. But now, no need for the file system. We can use even MySQL. We can use even to connect our live web-based systems. Now, the things are very easy. Okay, so the thing is that we will be integrating the database with our mobile applications. We will be integrating our mobile applications with the websites, and we will be integrating websites to our mobile applications as well. And very pretty things, they are waiting for you. We will be going for that. And they are very simple as well. Okay, if I compare to the previous one, once it was started, then I can see that it is like a piece of cake, trust me. Okay, then we will be implementing the mobile applications for different purposes. For example, as we discussed in our previous slide as well, for sending testing emails, for playing with the GPS, for controlling the locations. Then we will see that how the locations are being handled. Then for controlling the SMS, then for controlling Wi-Fi, disabling and enabling the Wi-Fi's, then other multimedia applications, and so on and so on. We will try to cover most of the aspects and the components to clear your concepts. So we will be doing the how these things are working. Then again, the time is for yours. The platform is yours. The stage is for you. So how much time you spend, how much you want to go in a depth. That will be something very great. Okay. Then finally, we will be planning to deploy the Android applications to the Google Play Store as well. Now, see here, we are just sharing a few of the applications, apps which were designed by the previous students. So we call it from assignment to apps. This is actually means designed by the previous students, and those they are saying that how we can means calculate the happiness of the people. Okay, so you can see on the left side it is showing, are you happy today? This is the record, and then after means calculating your record, then it is just showing that how much happy you are. We need to be happy all the time, but this is life. Sometimes we are 100% happy, at 90%, 80%, and so on and so on. So why we are sharing this one? These are the examples from the previous students. They had made these applications while they were finishing this module. And I expect that you will be doing even very wonderful job. Trust me. Going ahead, you can see another from assignment to apps. So based on their assignments, what they have done. Okay, so you can see from here how bright you are. You can find the description on the right side in a vertical pattern. It is mentioned about that. So here we are trying, the students, they try to bear the sunlight. Okay, the strength of the sunlight. And it was left to be used by the farmers for the plant lovers. So they can see what is the strength of the sunlight. Indoor is what, outdoor is what, daytime is what, and nighttime it is what. So is it suitable for their plants or not? So these are the small ideas just for your brainstorming, that what they did and what you can expect and where you will be. I am sure that you will be. We are thinking even more and more advanced in these things. Okay. Then another application. This actually introduced the school to the users. Okay, about the future aims, what they are, and about the chat applications and the other things. So this is actually a sort of like, suppose you remember we said that we can convert our websites to the mobile applications, our mobile applications to the websites. So this was from one of the assignment that how they did that they convert our school information, transform it just like an introduction for the school, and it is available on the Google Play Store, or suppose it's done. I'm not pretty sure that these all are available at the Google Play Store because they were not done under my supervision, but these all are done by the students. So we label them from means assignment to the apps. Another example, the most demanding application is what app is what you can see from the right side that this app is developed to facilitate the process of invigilation in Taylor University. So you can see how many times there, what is the location, who's the chief invigilator, what is the exam type, their role, and so on. So the examiners, they can know about their jobs and about their duties, timetable, about their schedule, that at what time they have their jobs, where they have, what is the current time, so they can be traceable by the exam unit, and everybody and else can be means traceable, so everybody can know there is no confusion in it. So this is one of the means pretty simple example about that. Now, this is another example from assignment to apps. So this is for the teller access. So you can select the date before the examination, exam rules, you can define them, and you can go for the MCQs, reminders, and upon completion, what it happened, and your dashboard you can see, and that you can see about the possible slots, about your history, about your app, and so on. So these are the few of the simple applications where they used to use the different concepts. Like here you can see that they try to use the calendar, they try to use the time timer of the system, they try to use the database as well with this. So how these components are called and how these applications are designed. So these all things we will be doing as well. And I hope that we will be doing even more good application than this. So these are the only few from the previous classes what they had done. Now, when we reach here, so as we discussed that the role as the mode of study will be the lecture and your lab and as well as your tutorials. So you can find out the details from here that the lecture will be for 2 hours. The major component of your module is the lecture. But don't consider the lecture will be the only lecture. After a few weeks, the lecture will be, the lecturing part will be less, but the hands-on part will be there. So the concept what we discussed, we will have a program to discuss that program and to run that program, to see that program, to understand that one, how it is happening and how it's running and how it's doing. Then the other component, that component is for tutorial. And you notice here that tutorial is only for 1 hour. Okay, because in tutorial you will be reading some sort of the things and then you are getting the more trying to concrete your more concepts that what we are discussing in your theory class. So when something is left, so you are going to do the independent study about that, and then you are trying to present that. So you are reinforcing the concepts that what we are discussing in the theory as well again. Then your lab is 1.5 hours per week. So in the lab is actually your stage, your time. That is your show. So whatever you will learn, what we will be discussing in theory, what we'll be doing hands-on practices, everything in the theory class. So there's some related task will be given to you in the lab. So you can do, means that is your show. So you can start writing the program and you can come up with the whatever the task is given to you, but not necessary that you are supposed to finish that one in 1.5 hours. If you can, appreciable. Otherwise, you will have a time. You can take the whole day, but try to spend the time so you will be able to reach to the desired goal. Again, the most part is the hands-on. Now, assessment, which is the most important. The assessment is actually for this module, the final exam is 30%. The 70% is linked with your coursework. So in the coursework, further it is divided into assignment number 1, which is the assignment number 1 is 25%. And your assignment number 1 is also practical oriented. So as we discussed that this is 100% hands-on and practical oriented module. Then the next approach is your practical. We are not saying your written test, your midterm test, your exam, but it is your practical test. So again, this is hands-on test. That is for the 20%. Then your next assignment is assignment number 2. That is also 25%. So you can notice that your coursework is mostly related to the hands-on. In your assignments, you will be receiving the task, how to design them. For sure, you will be submitting the reports, but actually the reports about the apps what you have designed. So we can say that these all circuits which are in one color, the same color, they are maximum linked with the practical approach. That's why even in your theory, you will find the practical approach as well. So we will not only be discussing on using the PowerPoint, but in your theory classes as well, after discussing the concepts, we will switch to the Android Studio and we will go to the live programming sessions, and we will discuss it, what it is, what the concept we've done, how it is working, and then the same things you will be doing the practice by receiving these, some sort of these small challenges or some task in your lab session. So in the lab session, you will be defined at what you are supposed to do, and then you will start working on that. Take your time, not a problem. Okay, but at the end of the day, the point is that you are getting your goal. Final exam will be only 30%, and final exam will be regular exam pattern that what we have received date sheets from the exam centers, and then we are coming for the exam. In case if suppose the conditions from the COVID are better, and in case if suppose there is an issue for the COVID, then we will go for the same pattern of the exam that what we did for the last semester. But that part is not clear at this stage, because that is we are dependent on the conditions that what would be. So we will see later that how your final exam will be. But again, in your final exam will be, the questions will be related to check the concept, and also again, the questions will be sort of the segment of the course. So we can say that most of the things are related to the code, hands-on and practicing. That's why we are saying that this module is 100% hands-on. Now, when this assessment and these assignments will be, so you will be able to see from the weekly course breakdown as well, and we'll discuss the weekly breakdown as well after this. So you will be able to find out when this assessment will be, and you will be able to receive those all assessments well before in time. And again, you can plan well, you can spend your time well, and then you will be able to come up with the right things and right solution in a very calculated time. And for each of your assessment, you will be, other than your final exam, you will be able to receive the feedback within 2 to 3 weeks maximum of time. So wish you best of luck. Now, what we are going to do to discuss, this is what we were discussing, that what we are covered in this module. We're focusing that this will be practical oriented, and only we have one practical test, and we have 2 assignments. Those are also related to the practical, and then we have the final assessments, and we will be covering the fundamental concepts as well as the advanced concepts as well. We will be doing about the emails, about the multimedias, about the SMS, and so on and so on. But now here we reached what we will be doing in weekly. So today is our first week where we are discussing about the overview of the course, what this course contains, what will be your learning outcomes at the end of the day, how this module is different from the other existing modules, and what this module will deliver to you, what you should be expecting from this module, and what your instructor is expecting from you. So this is all the related information about the module, and how we will take it on, and how and what type of the assessments will be there, and how this module will be, how much it will be the hands-on and theoretical part, and what will be the number of the theories, labs, and tutorial, and how will be carrying on. So the overview, that's why we can call this as the whole overview about this, and we will be continue for the upcoming weeks for that one. Now in week number 2, we will discuss about the Android concepts and architecture, because we are going to write about the Android programming. Then you have to know that what is the basic concepts about the Android, and what's the Android framework actually, what are the activities, what are the frameworks, what are the other concepts. That's what we are going to use in the Android. So all these things you will be learning, and also you will be learning that why we are going for the Android, why not we are going for any other mobile development. So these all things answers and points you will be clearing in the upcoming week, next week. Then the week number 3, we will be discussing about the Android application and development, your first mobile application. So you will be reaching there, you will be configuring, you will be installing Android Studio, and you will start writing your Android applications, understanding your Android Studio, and also you will be understanding and start writing Android applications. In week number 4, we will be using the Android GUI elements, views, interactions, and other things but that will be only part one because the Android GUI is very rich. That's why we will not be able to cover them in the 1 week. Then in the second week, we will be covering the Android GUI elements, which parts are left, and we will not able to cover them in week number 4. So now what it means by covering them, it doesn't mean that we will be discussing that these things are the part of the Android view. But we will be discussing as well as we will be trying to implement a few of them that we can see that how we can use them in our applications as well. So that will be in 2 parts, the part number 1 and part number 2. After that, we will be reaching to the next week, which will be Android UI elements, views, and interaction. Because the GUI is very important. Even we are going for the email application, we are going for SMS application, we are going for Wi-Fi application, we are going for database application, we are going for GPS-based application. Everywhere the GUI is important, views are important. So they all are the views are. So that's why we learned it how we will handle the maps, how we will handle the locations, how we will handle the other means GUIs and views and so on and so on. Then in week number 7, we will be using Android Activity Lifecycle. We'll be looking at how Android Lifecycle, Activity Lifecycle is using. Android Activity Lifecycle is very important, very much important, because based on that, any app is running. So we'll see how it's running, how it's working, what are their phases, what are their different stages, and how this is helping to running our application smoothly. Then in week number 9, we will be learning about SQLite database with the part 1. In this part, we will be learning about a few of the operations of the SQLite. As I mentioned to you previously, the Android was not supporting to the structure, the what we can say the proper databases. It was only file-based databases, but now it is just like a piece of cake. It is supporting to SQLite and everything. So you will see that how we can be using. So in week number 9, we will be using part 1 and 2, and then we will be using the week number 9, 8, and 9. Means in week number 8 it will be part 1, and week number 9 will be part number 2 about the SQLite. So you will be using all of the 5, 6 operations which are the most important operations for any of the web-based system or any of the mobile app. That is how to add, how to insert, how to delete, how to update, and blah blah blah, so on, so on. Whatever the required things that we will be doing in week number 8 and 9. Week number 10 will be your module presentation week, and week number 11 we will be working for Wi-Fi and email applications. And how we can enable, disable Wi-Fi, or how we can control our Wi-Fi, how we will be able to send emails for the prototype and testing purpose. So you will be able to see how these things are working. Then in the next week, we will be discussing about week number 12 and 13 about the location based, okay, about the maps, and also about the short messages, messaging services, SMS applications, and so on. So location and GPS location and tracking and these things we will be doing in week number 12 and 13. Then in week number 14, we will be using some applications which are the multimedia applications and also the module revision exam guidelines in week number 14. So this is our timeline. That's what we will be following for the throughout the semester. I wish and I hope that you will get as much as possible benefit of this module. And that is only possible in case if suppose you will be spending the right amount of time on this. So going ahead, so here we it's done. Once we are done with this, then it is your module is actually it's done, and then you will be able to finish your current module. These all are the aspects and the points that we are going to cover this one. Now, if you have a question, you can ask. Most welcome. Meanwhile, I just open for you the weekly breakdown. I can share the weekly breakdown with you as well, so you can be able to understand that what we will be doing the rest of the things in our weekly breakdown as well. So here we go. Just give me 1 minute. I just open it for you and just share for you.
Sir, I have a question.
Most welcome, young man.
I'm seeing that Android application thing, right?
Come again. Your voice is breaking.
Sorry, yeah. What if I don't have an Android device?
Okay. If you not have Android device, then we will have the emulators as well. Okay. And in Android Studio, we have emulators, so we can test our application development using the emulators.
Hmm.
Yeah. So not to be worried about that.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Actually, I have another question.
You are most welcome.
What if I don't know anyone? How can I form a group?
Yeah, this could be challenging. That's what I do understand. That's why you notice that I mentioned that we will give you 1 week time. So in that particular 1 week time, you can try to discuss, communicate with your friends, and then you will be able to form your group. But I will again advise you that please try to form a group where you feel comfortable and those who can continue well with you, because the performance of individual will affect the group. That's why you will have a 1 week time, so you can communicate using any channel with your class members. You can see the list of your class members, and I will also try to share the list of your class members also uh, with you all, with the pictures and their details, so you can find out the details from there. So I hope that you are able to see the screen, the PDF file. Are you able? Please confirm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Huh? So now you can see from here that this is the week number 1. That's what we discussed. And in week number 1, there is no tutorial, there's no practical. But when we will be reaching to the week number 2, so in week number 2, discussing about Android architecture, Linux kernel, Android runtime, libraries, applications, and application frameworks, and so on. Then the tutorial is there for us as well. And then the practical is there for us, and the practical we will be means installing Android Studio and configuring the Android for Eclipse, and then we will test our first application and how it's working. Then when we go to the week number 3, so now you can see the lectures there, tutorial is there, and practical part is also there. So in this, you can find out in the tutorial that this is the reading task. That's what we are discussing. So now if you just map this one, that here in the tutorial, you are reading about the activity Java, activity XML, manifest XML, and style XML, value XML, blah, blah. So these all are the concepts, and these all are the things you can see from here that we are discussing as well in your theory class. So while you are reaching to the tutorial, you are just trying to enrich further, read further to concrete your concepts. That's what we are doing during the lecture. And during the lecture, we will be you will find always at the last line that we will be doing some sort of the application as well. And then here, when you will reach to the practical session, so you will be able to see that here is the one task that we are doing about one of the application that will be very closely linked that what we are doing in our lecture. Very closely. It's not 100% same, because the same we already done in the lecture, but it will be very closely with the very lower level or minor level of challenges. And with time, the challenges we will be increasing slowly the challenges as you can learn the more and more. Now, if we just go to the next, to the week number, to the week number 3, this is done. Now, if we just go to the next page, and week number 4 and 5 and 6, there will be lecture where we'll be covering. You remember that these lectures are about the GUI. So in the GUI, we'll be seeing how we are able to use the buttons, checkboxes, stereo buttons, seek bars, text boxes, rating bars, web viewer, time picker, and date picker, calendar view. So these are the controls that how we are able to we are able to use them. So you notice that the simple exercises are the simple apps what I shared with you. So they were using these controls, these views. So in these weeks, you will be using those controls, but most of them you will be able to make them fully functional, and most of them you will be able to make them partially, functional. And when you will be able to make fully functional, when you will be reaching to the means next week's reaching to the databases and other things, then we will be able to make them completely functional. So these are the layout managers and the frame layouts, the grid layouts, relative layouts, absolute layout. So this is all about the GUI, because GUI is very important and very extensive components about the Android. That's why we have the week number, means 3 consecutive weeks for this one, 4 and 5 and 6. Then when we are going to the next level, so in the this is still continue for GUI, and this is the tutorial for GUI. So you can find out the details that here in the tutorial also. Again, it means reading about GUI means components, and it's important. So you are trying to again strengthen the same concept that what you are learning in these weeks. Then you are doing the practical, and the practical means you are trying to apply the tools, you apply the activities, you are applying the fragmentation and other concepts that again related to the GUI. So that would be enforcing your concrete concepts that what you are learning from your theory and tutorial, and you are doing by your own hands as well. Then we go to the next week. So when we read to the next week, week number 7, you can see now we are focusing about the activity life cycle. So we can discuss that what are the stages of the activities. There are multiple stages of the activity life cycle: on create, on start, on resume, on pause, and so on, reset. So this is we will discuss that what these are. Normally we are using in our daily life. Like suppose we are using our application, when we switch on, how it's running, when we are giving it in a pause, when we are reducing its priority, and so on. So we will discuss in detail that how this is happening. This is all happening based on the activity life cycle. These all are the methods, built-in methods. They are part of the activity lifecycle, and then they are helping us to handle the application from the start up to the application crashing or destroying application. So then the tutorial will be again same, that we will be reading to concrete more our concept about that, and at the same time the practical will be same, that you will be using about some of the GUI where you can apply the activity lifecycle. So activity lifecycle is always a major component, primary backbone part of any of the application. So this is the most important part of the any of the app. It always have means have the activity lifecycle. So you will be learning with how it is working. Then in the next week, 2 weeks, 8 and 9, as we discussed there, that will be part of your SQLite database. So how you will be able to install and configure, how you will be able to creating database, how you will be doing the database operations. This is what you will be learning in your theory class with hands-on. And in tutorial, you will be reading more, theoretical concept about that to again concrete your things and concept about that what you have learned in your theoretical class. And then in practical, you will be receiving a sort of small chunk with the proper instructions. Then you will start developing the sort of the applications that how you will be applying the SQLite. Maybe whatever you done and designed in your previous weeks, right? You was doing about your GUI for 3 weeks. So how you will be now connecting them with the SQLite and activating them. So like that you will be the part you will be doing in your week number 8 and 9. So when we reach in week number 10, so then we will be now going for a little more advanced concepts, like the module presentations will be there in this week, and also we will be discussing about Wi-Fi manager. We'll see that how we can enable or disable the Wi-Fi for our device, and how we will be scanning the nearby Wi-Fi device. That's what our cell phones are doing already for us, but we will see that how it is happening. What is the app behind them it's working? So you will learn and you will do it at your own self. Again, the same pattern. You will have the tutorial and the practical that you will be doing, and in the practical you will be like suppose you are understanding that what we are doing with this one with the Wi-Fi. So in practical, maybe you will be receiving a task at how you can do that for the Bluetooth, like that. So this is how this would be sort of the multiple learning. So the one thing you will be learning in the class, and second thing you will be receiving a challenge with the proper instructions in your lab, so you can be going to implement. That is the the fast track learning and trying to grab the more concepts as well. In week number 11, we will be learning about email, design email forms, sending emails, applying emails, validations, and so on. And again, the same thing, you will be having the concept about more concrete concept from the tutorial, and you can do the applications in your lab. So you can see from here, use the spam avoiding techniques and these things. So because you are learning for emails already, and we'll be doing hands-on, we'll be showing the solutions for that, how we can do. Now, this is you already know. So now in the practical session, you will be receiving one more step ahead a challenge. Like you have already email, so now you will be looking at how you will be able to control the avoiding the spam in case of suppose the spam are coming. So how you will be, your app is going to handle that. So in week number 12 and 13, we will be using the location-based applications, which is the GPS, and the SMS applications, how we are going to control them, analyzing the Google Maps, finding out the locations for any particular point and pinpointing them. So this is all we will be doing in week number 12 and 13. Sorry. And the same pattern, the tutorial will be there, and the same pattern, your practical will be there. So you can see that in practical, you will be deploying user-friendly audio, video, media players, and doing like this. So one step ahead. And finally, we will be reaching to the week number 14, where we will be having the module revision, exam guidelines, and revisions. There will be no tutorial and no practical in that, but only overview and the about what we have learned and the kind of revision in that. So that is all about your information about your module, and try to come up in a way so as you can be able to learn more and more concept about that. Now, if you have any question, you are most welcome to ask the question. If you don't have a question, then we may go for your attendance, and wish you best of luck and welcome you all again for this module. And from the next, we will be able to start our regular classes.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Do we need to start make a group already?
Yes, very nice question. For group, you will have a time from today up to the next week. So after some time, by today, I will upload the Excel sheet, link for the Excel sheet actually at the times. So the title for that will be group formation. So you can click to that link and you will be able to open the Excel sheet. And under that, I will just put already like the group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4 like this. So you can pop up your names from 3 to 4. So you can discuss among yourself wherever you get agree. When you mutually agree, then you all by yourself, you can go to the times and log into the sheet, to the shared link from the Google Drive, and then you can start writing the names. So for this process, you will have this whole week. Okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
You are welcome. You are welcome. So now we are just going for your attendance. Okay, so I just stop the recording because for going attendance, we have to stop this one.